Yo, what's up, Hockey Ghosters? What is going on? I'm back. God, freaking notification. Get out of here. Shut up, phone. But, I am exhausted. I have spent 45 minutes on working on this list. And this list is the top 25 players, NHL players, to be traded this offseason. And I'm going to make it very exciting because I have spent 45 minutes on this list with their stats. 45. And the original list is on NHL.com. I'm not taking credit for this. This is not my decisions. These aren't my players that I put on this list. This is all belongs to NHL.com. None of this was me. So I'm going to start. And I am ready to go to bed. So I'm going to make this as short as possible. Number 25, 22. I forgot to explain something. 3 of these players on the list, one of them re-signed, 2 of them have already been traded. Alex Galchenyuk and Max Domi were on the original list, and they were already traded. That was on my last video the day before yesterday, so go check that out on my channel. And Oliver Ekman-Larsson is going to re-sign with the Arizona Coyotes. Okay, so number 22. These are the top 22 players to be traded because those 3 are off the list. So 22, Corey Perry from the Anaheim Ducks. He's a right wing. 17 goals, 32 assists. He is also 33 years old, 17 goals, 32 assists for 49 points. So Corey Perry, some teams would be interested in a guy like this, but he's 33, old, and most teams aren't looking to take his contract because that's why Anaheim's trying to get rid of him because he's putting up 17 goals and only 32 assists. That's not enough for the money he's getting paid. They don't have enough cap space to pay a 33-year-old who only puts up 17 goals and 49 points. So moving on, number 21 is Sam Reinhart from the Buffalo Sabres, right wing, 22 years old, 25 goals, 25 assists for 50 points. Now, what would I say for him? I would re-sign him, but Buffalo, if a right trade offer comes around, make the deal. He's not giving you what you thought he was going to give you. So I would trade him. I would either trade him or re-sign him. One of the two. That's what Buffalo has to decide. And I'm not going to spend too much time on Sam Reinhart because I don't really think he will be dealt. Okay, number 20, Vladislav Namestnikov. I don't get this one. NHL.com. Namestnikov is 25 years old, 22 goals, 26 assists for 48 points from the New York Rangers. And I don't get that. I don't think he'll be dealt. He was just traded there at the deadline for JT Miller and Ryan McDonough from the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't think he'll be dealt, so why is he even on this list? Okay, moving on. I'm not spending too much time on Vladislav Namestnikov because I don't think he'll be dealt. This guy, I really do think he will be dealt, and that is number 19, Chris Tanev, defenseman from Vancouver. 28 years old. He had 2 goals, 9 assists for 11 points. And those are bad numbers, but he was hurt. The guy can't stay healthy. Tanev has had a record of not being able to stay healthy, and if he played all 82 games, he would put up tremendous numbers. He's a great defensive defenseman, and teams would be knocking down doors to get this guy. And Tanev is just a great defenseman. As a Flyers fan, I take him happily. Okay. Number 18, Andrei Burakovsky, Swedish left winger from the Washington Capitals, 23 years old, 12 goals, 13 assists for 25 points. He had a disappointing year. Burakovsky is usually not that. He's usually a first liner with Alex Ovechkin and Evgeny Kuznetsov, and sometimes Tom Wilson instead of Ovechkin. And Tom Wilson took his spot. Tom Wilson. All he's out there to do is hit. That's it. And Burakovsky lost his job to him and got put on the third line with Brett Connolly and Chandler Stevenson. That's bad, Andre. Burakovsky has great years, but he's 23 years old. He had a bad year, but he's 23 years old. The only way I can see him getting dealt is a cap dump, and a cap dump to re-sign John Carlson. If they really like Carlson that much, they'll trade Andre Burakovsky, dump his money, and bring back John Carlson. Because they just won a Stanley Cup. Remember that. They're world champions right now. So would John Carlson want to stay? If he would, maybe Burakovsky has to go, and they will listen to John Carlson. Alex Ovechkin makes the decision if Burakovsky has to stay or Carlson stays. It's pretty much up to him. Everyone listens to Alexander Ovechkin. Best top 20 player of all time. He's future Hall of Famer. Best goal scorer of all time. Okay, number 17. This guy is 110% getting dealt. Milan Lucic from the Edmonton Oilers. He is 29 years old. He had 10 goals, 24 assists for 34 points. Lucic wants out of Edmonton. He doesn't want to live in Connor McDavid's shadows. Connor McDavid is the face of the NHL right now. He's 21 years old, and we're already calling him Connor McJesus. All of us, you Canadians, I hate you guys, but you guys love Connor McJesus, Connor McDavid. I didn't say that. Alright, I'm not going to spend too much time on Lucic because he really wants out of Edmonton. If a player really wants out of your organization, then trade him. That's it. Why would you keep someone around who's just going to complain and moan all the time? Okay, moving on. This guy's not getting dealt. I don't even know why he's on the list, especially at number 16. Number 16, Connor Sherry from the Pittsburgh Penguins. God, I hate you, Penguins fans. Be mad at me, Penguins fans. I don't care. I don't like you anyway. From the Pittsburgh Penguins, 25 years old, 18 goals, 12 assists for 30 points. And Sherry, a lot of people think he can't play. So why would they want him? So Pittsburgh, maybe they're just, if they want to make a shot at John Tavares, then they dump small contracts off like Sherry's and Russ and Hunwick's. Guys like those, maybe just trade them all away and bring in John Tavares. Is $10 million contract. $10 million. He'll probably re-sign with New York. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on Sherry because I haven't even heard any rumors about Connor Sherry. Number 15, I've heard this guy in all sorts of trade rumors. Rasmus Ristolainen from the Buffalo Sabres, defenseman, 23 years old, 6 goals, 25 assists for 31 points. 41 points, my bad. Wait, no. Doesn't make sense. I didn't write down his total number of points. My bad. But the only way I see Ristolainen getting traded is if they really like Rasmus Dahlin, the top prospect coming into the draft, because they do own the first overall pick. They take Dahlin, and maybe they just trade Ristolainen, get more prospects and more draft picks. Because Ristolainen, I'd pay a lot to get Rasmus Ristolainen. I think he's a great player, and he's going to do a lot in this NHL. Okay, moving on, because I hate the Sabres. I don't really want to talk about them. Number 14, this guy's not getting traded. Jacob Trouba, defenseman from the Winnipeg Jets, 24 years old, 3 goals, 21 assists for 24 points. My bad. 21 assists for 24 points. He did want out of Winnipeg, but now he wants to stay because of course he would, because they just made a run at the Western Conference Final. But you lost to a team that didn't exist a year ago. You lost to the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Knights went on to the Cup Final and lost to the Capitals in 5 games. No one expected that. Ovechkin got his first cup, blah, blah, blah. Okay, moving on, because he's not getting dealt. Number 13, Dougie Hamilton. From Trouba on to number 10, it's all defensemen. Okay, number 13, Dougie Hamilton from the Calgary Flames, 24 years old, 17 goals, 27 assists for 44 points. I'm not going to talk too much about this because Calgary, you just re-sign him. If you want to change to the playoffs, you've got to re-sign Dougie Hamilton. Because the only way you're getting to the playoffs is to keep your defensive core intact. And that means keeping Dougie Hamilton around. And you've got guys like Matthew Tkachuk, like Sean Monahan, like Johnny Gaudreau, young guys like that. So why not backing up? And with your veterans like Mike Giordano. And on the blue line, you've got a great blue line. You just do. Okay, moving on. And you've got a top pick in the draft. Okay, number 12, Alex Petrovich, defenseman from the Florida Panthers. He is 26 years old. He had 2 goals, 11 assists for 13 points. I haven't heard anything about Alex Petrovich being traded, but if he has been in trade rumors, then I don't want to even talk about it because I hate Alex Petrovich. Always have. I think he's a cheap player. I don't think he's even that good of a player in general. I think he's bad at even being cheap. Okay, moving on. I don't want to talk about Alex Petrovich at all. Okay, Alex Petrovich, move out of the way. Number 11, I love this guy. This guy is one of my favorite defensemen in the NHL. Is Noah Hanifin from the Carolina Hurricanes. Defenseman, obviously. 21 years old. He is 21 years old. He's a young dude. He had 10 goals, 22 assists for 32 points. And teams are going to knock down doors to get Noah Hanifin. They will give anything to get this guy. Everyone loves Noah Hanifin. And I'd trade my entire farm for Noah Hanifin. I'd trade every single draft pick I have for Noah Hanifin. And he'll probably end up in like a team like Vancouver or Boston. So, best wishes to you, Noah Hanifin. Hope you have a great career because it's not going anywhere in Carolina. Okay, number 10, another defenseman from the Carolina Hurricanes, Justin Falk, 26 years old, 8 goals, 23 assists for 31 points. This guy is a great offensive defenseman. He sucks. He is horrendously bad defensively. He is so bad defensively. It's not even funny. He's like a minus 28. And I heard, like, Toronto will trade Jake Gardiner to get Justin Falk. Put those rumors to bed. Gardiner had about 20 more points than Falk did. It's not happening. Okay, moving on, because I don't really want to talk about it. It just blows my mind how bad he is defensively. And he's a defenseman. You gotta be good defensively. Number 9, PK Subban. Not spending any time on this because he's not getting dealt. PK Subban, 29 years old, Nashville Predators defenseman, 16 goals, 43 points for 43 assists for 59 points. He's not getting dealt. He's a great offensive defenseman. Not great defensively, but he's not getting dealt. So move on. Nashville is going to keep him. He's got 4 more years left on his contract. Not getting dealt. Put those rumors to bed. And they already have. Number 8, I hate this guy. I hate him more than our president. Actually, no. I hate him a little bit less than our president. But I hate Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel, 30 years old, 34 goals, 58 assists for 92 points. And he's a great player, which makes me even more mad. He is an unbelievable player. I'd take him on my team, but he's not. I want to rip his head off. Not actually, but I'm sorry. But yeah. My nose is itching. But I just hate Phil Kessel. Pittsburgh Penguins. He's from the Pittsburgh Penguins, and I hate the Pittsburgh Penguins. I've always hated him, even when he was in Toronto and Boston. I've always hated Phil Kessel. I think he's a freaking worm. He's lazy. He doesn't do anything for his team. He's not a team player. Everyone hates him. Mike Sullivan, Pittsburgh's head coach, hates him. Everyone hates Phil Kessel. And I don't want to talk about Kessel, so I'm moving on. Number 7, this one has no stats. I don't know if NHL just did this as a joke, but it is the Vancouver Canucks' 7th overall pick in this year's draft. Their 7th pick, trade it maybe if they want to get Noah Hanifin. No means by saying the 7th pick is going to get you Noah Hanifin, because it won't. Maybe if you package some stuff together like Justin Falk, Noah Hanifin, maybe if you package some stuff like Thomas Vanek, your 7th overall pick, maybe Bo Horvat, and maybe you can land Noah Hanifin, but I don't even think that will get you Noah Hanifin. Moving on is this guy who's most likely getting traded because he doesn't deserve to be a backup to Braden Holtby. It is Philip Grubauer, goalie from the Washington Capitals. and he has no stats. His stats are currently unavailable for some reason. I think he had like 35 starts around that. And Holtby didn't have a great year. Phil Grubauer, new Stanley Cup champion. Maybe teams are looking for him to be their starter. I would. Good goalie. He's 26 years old. Fairly young goalie. Maybe he can learn besides someone. He's learned far enough with Braden Holtby. So maybe he will get dealt. And let's move on to number 5. Couldn't remember. Max Pacioretty. I am a huge fan of Max Pacioretty. He is from the Montreal Canadiens. He's 29 years old, 17 goals, 20 assists, 37 points. He was hurt the entire year, so he didn't have a great year. He had an off year, not a normal Max Pacioretty year. But he is 110% getting dealt, and I hope so he can have a better career somewhere else. Montreal sucks. They just traded Alex Galchenyuk for Max Domi. That's trading a franchise star for a bag of pucks and a used Zamboni. No offense to Max Domi, with all due respect to Max Domi. Number 4 is Jeff Skinner. This guy who I think should be traded, but he probably won't because teams won't take him. Carolina's looking... I haven't read his stats. Jeff Skinner, from the Carolina Hurricanes, he's 26 years old, 24 goals, 25 assists, 49 points. Teams aren't going to take this guy because he's a UFA in a year. Remember that. He's a UFA in a year. He can go to any team without their say. They have to sign him. It doesn't matter if he plays or not. They have to sign him on their roster. But Carolina wants a prospect and a first-round pick back for him for a guy who's only going to be on your team for a year. Would you trade for him? No. Not someone who puts up 49 points and is probably only going to be on your team for 1 year. No. Moving on. Number 3. I don't like this guy now. Mike Hoffman from the Ottawa Senators, 28 years old, 22 goals, 34 assists for 56 points. Hoffman's got something going on with his teammate, who is the best defenseman in the world, Erik Karlsson. And I'm not going to talk about that because apparently Karlsson's wife got a restraining order against Hoffman's wife for assaulting them for losing a child, a two-month-old child. It's absolutely disgusting, and I'm not going to talk about that, but Mike Hoffman, his trade value is way low because of that situation. I would not trade for a guy like that because of the distractions with his fiancée, Monica Carrick. Okay, moving on to number 2, Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly is a flipping beast. I love Ryan O'Reilly. No homo. But Ryan O'Reilly, 27 years old, 24 goals, 37 assists for 61 points. That is great numbers for a 27-year-old center from the Buffalo Sabres. And playing with the Buffalo Sabres. The Buffalo Sabres. They're really bad. I'm sorry, Buffalo fans. You guys suck. I'm sorry. You suck. You suck. How many times do I have to say it? You just suck. Maybe Rasmus Dahlin will turn your franchise around. But you guys have 3 players on this list. 3. And they're all below 30. How does it feel? 2 are below 26. 2 are below 25. And O'Reilly's obviously not because he's 27. Math. Alright, and I'd trade for a guy like this who puts up 61 points and has 2 more years left on his contract. I'd totally take a guy like that. And number 1, I just talked about him, is Erik Karlsson. Ottawa Senators defenseman, 28 years old, 9 goals, 53 assists, 62 points. And the thing about this, 62 points for him is a bad year. That's how good Erik Karlsson is. Best defenseman in the world. 62 points is a bad year for him. He usually puts up about 130. He's that good. He basically played with one foot. He had a ripped cartilage in his foot. He's amazing. He's a great player. I don't know why teams wouldn't knock down doors to get a guy like that. Ottawa's going to get so much back for him. He needs a fresh start. He just lost a child in Ottawa. His wife is from Ottawa. They need a new start. Vegas. That was so cringy. But the Vegas Golden Knights, I think that will either that or San Jose. The San Jose Sharks or Vegas Golden Knights. Either one of those is probably where he will end up. So, wow, that's a long video. 20 minutes. Yeesh. Alright, 20-minute video. I'll take it. My longest was 16. Now, this is currently my longest video on my channel. Great. Okay, so hope you had a great day. I am ready to go to bed. Peace.